And what up, world? It's your boy Crack back at it one time. Chillbilly is in the motherfucking house.
What up?
Murder's in jail for a DUI. Mm. Katrina's missing. Mm. What else is going on in this deadly street? Something else. Uh, hmm. Let's let them come on in if they're coming. We went from 1 to 12. Come on in, come on in. Is Katrina still missing from our chat? Last seen with Goo. This is no cap. This is no joke. She was last seen with Goo. Loaded Oreos. Very, very good. What's been going on with Hillbilly today? Hello?
Well, sorry about that. I accidentally put myself on mute. Just sitting and chilling after a day of work.
What's up? John 33. Constant So. Come on up.
What, Constant Sue?
Anybody that's familiar that can fill me in more on Cyrax versus Ernie, I figured I'd do a pre-show. A pre-show about it. Sub up to the backup channel just for the wreck of it. I'm sad I made my very last loaded Oreo. I'm just smashing around the last of this one. Waiting on my coffee. My John coffee. I had to take some of them. Free side, my fist crank. Well, thank you, Lori. We love Lori 33 around here. So we're going to dough the baby. I'm going to take my garbage to the kitchen. Get me some coffee. And not even smoking in the crib on my own. Ain't even smoking in here. My choice. I chose not to smoke in my house. My other apartment smelled like, well, we didn't know there was black mold in it. Sandman called it out, but we already knew by then, so I had to bounce. But over here, it's all gravy so far. I just spoke to my landlord. If anybody wants to come up, I dropped the link. She'll be able to make sure who you are. Oh, there's Sue. Sorry.
Hey, hello.
What's up, Sue?
What's up?
I don't know much about this Cyrax guy. All I know is I think Ernie's already failed because from what I hear, Cyrax doesn't do panels, and he's not going to go on panel.
So what's the deal with the dude though? I heard he sent dick pics to underage kids and Ernie could take him down.
Not sure. I haven't really watched the guy. This
I've
is
heard
one.
some channel from some community, and don't get mad if it's not your community or some shit. And I say your name like Tyrant Bird or Peachy or Ghost or Nicolina or Jimbo. Somewhere I've heard that name, right? I'm thinking. It will be interesting to watch. I would like to get as much info as I could out of before it goes down. From what I'm told,
They said Cyrax doesn't do panels, so I don't know if he's even going to be there.
Well, it sounds like something nice banger to do.
Fail right out of the gate, right?
No, he ain't.
And then I guess he's
No,
going to go up there and give a. They said that the guy was Tomo, so I guess Ernie's going to give a Tomo a platform. I don't know.
I don't know how anybody that thinks they're even going to attempt to run for governor can talk the way he talks about the Shelby his panty collection, which is a lie because you know he couldn't even keep his dick hard for a woman.
Right.
And number two, there was a guy that we went to school with that's a real big old tall black guy. And Ernie stole that idea from him. He stole that from a guy named Richard. And I'm saying that with respect towards this guy because I remember back in high school, he would make, if he hit it, he was taking a souvenir.
Yeah.
And me and Ernie both kind of looked up to Richard. That's where Ernie got that story from, I guarantee it.
It was still a little on the disgusting side when he was talking about him being days old and stinking. It was like, what kind of women you hang around with, Ernie?
I mean, they got to be Walter Ward's paintings. That man that me and Margaret knows that stands up there on the corner and begs and drives the artichoke and works in the flea market.
Yeah.
Ernie ain't never got no paintings from high school. Shit. Everybody that ain't in high school, with hell, Ernie probably ain't been in high school. Think about it. He should have graduated in '97. Right? That should have been the year he graduated. My freshman year would have been Ernie's senior. So Ernie's probably ain't been in school since like '94 or '95. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If he went to 8th grade, it's probably pushing it.
He wasn't collecting no paintings. He's just hearing stories and making them up, trying to steal them to sound cool. That's all that ass banging son of a bitch is doing. What he's good for. But now, from what I was told, now correct me if I'm wrong, and it might not have been you. It might not have been none of the people I'm saying. A Kells Bells, a Constant Sue, a Traders, a Katie, who else? Several other on our side of the tracks, not the Tiger side, was saying that for Ernie to go after this guy because he was sending kids dick pics and Ernie could take him down.
Yeah, I think I heard that on Katie's channel.
Yeah, I don't even remember where my source told me that all that come from. I wrapped everything up in one little quick sentence because I was kind of wanting to go show y'all what the outside looks like.
I was waiting for Renee Marie to say that poor Cyrax is being bullied.
Well, tell her just to marry him and he won't be around no more. Undertaker. She's the Undertaker. Right. Yeah. But I can't
That's true.
That. Hands are full. Moving's been an experience.
You miss your crazy neighbor?
Well, we'll get. Oh, I forgot to put her in the content. Stay tuned for a lot of that. Amazing on Larry. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. So Chillbilly, Constant, Sue, can y'all take over for like 3 minutes while I urinate?
Sure.
And Doty Bates,
Yeah. We'll
everybody
try to keep them
else.
entertained.
Let's see, Kels, Joan, whoever else. Fill us in on the Ernie versus Cyrax while I pay him. We'll go smoke a cigarette outside on the porch.
Kels, do you know much about Cyrax? You could probably come here and tell more than I know. I really don't know nothing about the guy. Traders, maybe you could come up and talk about Cyrax. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I know he's a whole train wreck. He's Ernie's son. I know he's got Judy chop moves like Ernie. He can do the karate moves like Ernie. I wish I knew where Katie got that video. We could play it, but I don't know where. I don't even know his channel. I miss Morbid. I know some people didn't like him, but I miss Morbid. Yeah. He kicks better than Ernie. Yes, Ernie can't dance for shit, so he must. Ernie got his cousin Prego and Cyrax was born. Yep. He's got that 5 head going on like Ernie does. I wish I knew where Katie got that video. We'd watch it. I don't even know what his channel name is, though.
Was it? Are you talking about the dancing video, Cyrax?
No, the one of him doing his karate chops and his ninja kicks.
I think I ran up on it with the video.
Did you?
I think
that was hilarious. Looks just like Ernie.
Yeah, bald-headed Ernie. Somebody's here. Knocking on. Oh my God! Hang on. Ernie's wanting. I can't shit outside like that no more. Ernie's wanting to put up a banner. Somebody, hang on. Ernie's in backstage. All right, Tiger. Come on up, Governor. We want to know about this guy you're going to take down. What's up, Gov?
Hey, what's up?
Well, I'm very interested because from what I was told, this Cyrax is no good. And that basically, if you wanted to prove your point of being a bounty hunter and prove your point of being what you are, that you could take him down and take his channel, is what I was told. So now I'm just now getting caught up on everything on Larry Hoover.
Well, the fact of the matter is, it ain't about taking someone down. That ain't what I'm trying to do.
If they're a predator, it is, ain't it? If they're sending dick pics to children, ain't that what you do?
But the key word is if they're a predator. You know,
correct. That's feel me. That's what I'm saying. Fill me in.
So I don't know anything about this guy. Everybody thinks that I'm reading up on him, studying. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I want to go into this fresh. I want to go into this and pretty much as pretty much listen more than you talk kind of thing. I kind of want to do.
On your wall.
I kind of want to do compare to what's said and than what's expected. That's what I'm looking for.
Concurrence. All
Well,
right.
it's kind of like I want to. It's the missing part. It's the missing part that's really got my attention, and I want him to fill the gaps in pretty much. And what that means is anytime you're working with that, it's just like any kind of short dialogue. I want to keep to that. You know what I'm saying, Brad?
Yes.
I want to keep to, it ain't somebody said this or that about him. It's what actually,
You got to get him on panel first, Ernie. You hadn't even got him on panel. He ain't going to show up. You already failed.
Then that's him. If you don't show up, that's him. Then it makes him look even worse.
So if you're saying don't show up, he's guilty of sending dick pics to kids.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I did give him a phone call. It probably scared him to death because I got his number, but I get everybody's number. So you know,
Is that kind of like people saying, well, all you got to do is show your DB214 number, Ernie, and you say you're not going to? Does that mean you're guilty?
no,
'Cause it's
not
simple.
necessarily.
You show
Not
your number.
necessarily. No.
Are you going to say he's bullied like you? Are we going to see a Cyrax Shell 2027 campaign run?
No, I don't know, Constance, but you'll probably see somebody who can actually analyze verbal content. That's something that you can never do.
Oh,
You
yeah,
probably don't
right.
even know what it means.
Gov, where is this feller from?
Now, naturally, he's from Alaska, but he lives in Akron, Ohio.
Oh, okay. I know a lot of Major Way, Sonny Black, T-Rail. I know a lot of rappers up in Akron.
Yeah, Akron is a big place for rapping. It's huge, actually.
I know all about the rap game up there. Clarence Majors, that's where he went when he was rapping before he come back and ended up in federal prison. So I got into the rap scene there real good. What's up, Blaine Katie, Dodie Baby, Lisa, and everybody, Kel, Sweet Tea, hey everybody, Fox. Yeah,
So,
Ernie, I didn't
go
know.
ahead.
Didn't give a fuck either which way if you will come on the show or not. I just wanted, but thank you for coming on because I was very interested from what my moderators have told me about Ernest versus, I want him to call you ass banging, Governor Ernie Shell taking down an alleged dick pic sending predator. That's
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've heard about a lot of things he's done. I've not watched nothing on him. I don't want to watch nothing on him. I want to just come into it fresh, and I'm going to. So I notice a lot of the things that he gets hit with is the same kind of tactics that I use, like avoiding direct answers or over explaining, inconsistencies and like in stories and stuff like that. I do that a lot. I use that. I use a lot of too much detail. I use a lot of pauses, things of that nature. I use a lot of that. It's
tactics.
just behavioral deceptors. I use that a lot. I love that. I love doing that.
Yeah, and you're only manipulative to your own people because you ain't manipulating us. You're only manipulating them.
Actually, I've been manipulating you guys forever.
You ain't done shit to me.
And on the contrary, I have.
On the contrary, you haven't.
Well, how did you
Well,
manipulate
your
her?
content is about me. So,
how'd you manipulate me, big guy?
Well, the big thing about it is, Big Sue, is you can't even get your mic straight. You're roboting and you're echoing, and you need to fix that.
Nobody ever echoes till you come on here and do some kind of weird tiger tactics you do, Ernie. But anyway, have you ever manipulated me?
No, I have not been. I've always been honest with you.
Well, you wasn't all the way honest with me about one thing.
Depends.
Filing on a bag of needles, chasing a predator, falling off a ladder onto a bag of needles, catching HIV. Now,
was very honest. Very honest with that.
I respect you for coming out for that, but I do not believe.
Well, that's up
The
to
odds
you.
of that happening, Ernie, are astronomical.
If that's what you're basing your character on me, and you're basing my character on that one thing, then you guys are in for a rude awakening.
On that lie, when we base your character on a lot of things.
Well, here's the thing, Constance, and here's your problem, Constance. You automatically say things are lies, and you're not even nowhere a bit around. You wasn't around nowhere when all these things happened. You call people liars, but you can't prove anything. You can't prove anything. Only thing that people know about you and can prove is when you was on your hands and knees giving it to Jimbo. Simple fact, 100%. How you begged him and everything. That's what they can prove. And that's fact because it's actually documented and it's documented evidence.
Sure it is.
Now, go ahead. Sorry about that. I don't mean to take over that. Go ahead.
You're saying
you're not even a good liar.
Well, we all know that Constance Sue's people is involved in drugs, and the same as Jimbo, that you wonder about things of that nature. You have to wonder about it because his wife, because she debates it so hard, and then she says, "Oh no, it ain't this way," but it is that way, Constance Sue. It is that way. As a matter of fact, I can prove that.
That's my gay ex-husband that I ran off to New Mexico. Remember the Mexican guy that I ran off to New
I
Mexico
really don't
because he
pay no
was gay?
attention to you. I don't never look at the case,
Yeah,
Constance. I
okay.
never look
Well,
at it.
check it twice before you cut it once, Ernie.
Well, I have been
You
checking it
sound
twice.
stupid.
Could you tell me what year that was in?
Then he ran off to New Mexico?
Or when you ran him off? Yeah, when you ran him off.
Oh, well, you do your homework.
Oh,
I gotta do
see
it
what
for
I'm
you.
talking about? It's always me do my homework, but
Homework.
you bitches can't do your homework
Well,
on me because there's nothing in it. You have
I
to
did my
put
homework
stuff
on
in
you.
there
You're
that don't
fake
belong.
at every
That's what you
turn.
guys do. But anyways, it's all
You're
right.
fake at
It's all
every
right.
turn.
Again, Constance, I just proved you wrong right there. Of course, you got your
Jimbo
locales.
was your
Oh, I
buddy
want to be a
for 20
locale.
years, like
By the
me and Kay
way,
said.
from now
How many
on,
times were you on meetings for him?
from now on, chat,
Hey,
my
you know
name is
what?
Mr. Locale. I will love
It
to be
wasn't
called
me.
a locale. That way, I
It
can say
wasn't
I
me
came
that
from
got
being a
me
locale.
fighting court
That
because
way, when
Jimbo
I
and his
go
other buddy.
viral and when I do all these things I'm
Wasn't
going to do,
Ernie.
they can't say that I did not come from a
He was waiting
locale
to
because
tell
I
you.
embrace the word locale. I want to be a locale. We're going
He's
to
been
make
a low
locale
cop
cool
for
again.
years now.
Question. Myers got a question. Ernie, number one, I've got two for you. Sorry, so you're going to still run for governor, correct?
I will win, Governor.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Last
And I'll
night,
win Miss America.
you was talking reckless, like Crack 40 TV reckless about panties and dry panties and all that stuff. Do you not think that if you got into a gubernatorial campaign and people started spending money for commercials, they wouldn't go back and clip all that up of you saying that on the internet?
And that's what I want them to do. I hope they do it. I
So,
want him to use
Bozo,
that
not a
against me.
low town.
I want them to use that against me. I want them to use that against me.
that you was talking about panties, which, I talk worse than that. Everybody's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, because here's the thing, because I can look at them then and say, well, whoever my opponent is, whatever person it is, I can say, well, so you're telling me you never admired a set of woman's panties, you never did anything like this, you never did anything crazy like this, and if they say no, I never, well, we know they lie because every man, has that vision, has done something in his past that he don't want something getting out about if he's in politics or not. Correct? Yes.
You're a
Correct.
robot, Ernie. Your
Correct.
mic's cracking up.
$ Crack 40 TV, Super Chats, Cash Apps, PayPal, memberships, likes, comments, subscriptions, merchandise. It's Crack 40 TV, Cyrax versus Ernie pre-show. So, will he show up on your panel? People's telling me that he does not do panels, Governor Locale.
Well, that's up to him. That's up to him. If he wants to, he's got that freedom. He's got that freedom of choice. And if he don't, he don't. It's simple as that. But if you don't, it's going to make him look a lot worse than what he began with because he automatically said a while ago that he don't want to say something to incriminate himself. Now, let me ask you a question. If you automatically say something that's going to incriminate yourself and you automatically say that, then wouldn't you be having a guilty conscience?
Possibly.
There you go. Right here, he's going to have a chance to clear his name and start fresh for the people. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
And everybody thinks I'm going to go at him in a way that everyone's went at him in the past. That is not true. I will not do that. That is not how I work. I do better. I do better by using a thing called the Zowowski. If I use the Zowowski, I know good and well I'm going to get what I need.
You better use the Colombo. It works better. You see how ridiculous you sound saying all that. The read description and the read technique.
Constance, what's sad is you don't even know nothing about it because you've never
I
studied
don't need
anything.
to know nothing about it. I'm not a bozo. I come on here and be real. I don't have to pretend like I'm somebody else that I'm not.
Okay. Well, you see, your problem is, Constance, is you try to establish a baseline, but your baseline is made on false accusations
I know how to establish a baseline.
and false statements, and that's just
something
true.
and check it out.
And you
Not
can't
true.
say that it's not because
false.
it has. You see, you don't understand. You don't understand what read is. You don't understand what peace is. You don't understand the WZ method.
It wasn't
if you
me
did,
that somebody testified in court about being stuck in Jimbo's lips. It was you.
Anyways, if you don't understand it, and that's all you got. That's all you got. You don't understand how Wicklander works. You don't understand the non-confrontational because you're all about confrontation, and that's where you go wrong at. That's where you don't know what you're talking about. That's where you're
You
clueless.
fail at every turn
You're
in life,
ignorant.
Ernie.
And
You fail at
that
every
goes with the
turn.
song. You know, you fit right in with that song. That even though it's an AI song, you fit right in with it. Only thing I didn't add to that song was the men's or the pins. That's it. That's
You know
all.
what you fit in
I
right
didn't add
with?
the
You fit
men
in
in it,
right
and
with
I
the
didn't add the
hashtag
pins in it. That's the only thing I didn't add in that song
Gold
that
House
wouldn't have added
Governor,
you.
the Cyrax Shell Ticket 2027. They're gonna do it.
And again,
And I
this
got a
goes
drop
this
down.
goes
I
to
got
show
a
you
winner.
exactly. You're going to drop
Thanks for
down.
having me on.
That's called rage
Bye,
quitting
Ash
in our
Banger.
community. Good deal. Good deal. See, but you know, I don't get no praise for that. But it is what it is. Maybe she had to go change her depends. Who knows? Or eat a hamburger.
Okay, so tell me this. How did you get on to wanting to go after this Cyrax individual?
Now, I don't want to go after anyone, Brad, and I'm not going to go after anyone because I know what it does if you use the word go after. I don't
Correct.
plan on going after anyone. That's not how I work. I never have did that and never will do that.
And you
You know,
don't.
when I use the Zulowski effect, it's the non-confrontational. It's an interrogation method. It's interviewing of approach. It's a way that you know. It's just like if I work for a company and I get brought up on charges or get brought up into an investigation, they'll send a specialized investigator out there to that company to investigate me. Now, they're not going to come out and say, Mr. Shell, you did this, you did that. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to ask me, you know, how do you like working? How do you like working so and so? How are you here? Do this, that. They're going to go from there. They're going to build a profile. It's what a profiler does. They build a profile up of you. And once they build that profile, then they know how your characteristics work. They understand your body language, they understand your expressions, they understand all that. Now I play an idiot for you guys. I'm not an idiot by no means. I have tricked you all for the last 3.5 years plus. You guys think I'm stupid and I'm not. And it's going to come back and it's going to be very, very, very
You're,
forthcoming. Now,
I'm halfway laughing at that because it's funny, but I'm halfway laughing at it because you're correct.
I am. You're right.
You're half correct on that, Ernie. But I
Oh,
mean,
half.
you've done a lot of stupid things on here. Now you can't deny it.
Oh, yeah, I did them for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. It's just like you
Tiger,
don't just go out there and do something and not do it for a reason.
and that's called tiger tactics.
It's called tactics. It is. I've used tactics. I've used strategic thinking. I've used a lot of strategic stealth. I've used a lot of strategic silence. Yes, I do. 100%. 1,000%, as a matter of fact.
So right here, where I'm looking at right now, is the famous Loyal Elementary School where you got beat up and lost your belt in a fight to Les Cox and got took out.
I took a dive in that fight.
You took a dive in that fight. I was told that too. So
You knew
since
that.
I am looking at the school right now, if I walked off my porch and I walked right down through there to where the ambulance took us out, would you like to give us a replay of that night?
So
No, I'm
the
sorry.
thing about it is, in that time, the NHB, no hose barred. Well, you was there, Brad. I was beating him to death, right? And then all of a sudden, I went down.
Honestly, this is seriously. I'm not. This ain't no wreck. This is how I remember it. The fight lasted a few seconds, and it really did kind of look like he dropped you, but it also kind of looked like you took a dive. And
The fight. No, the fight went 3 rounds. The fight was in 3 rounds.
I don't recall. Well, no, look, this was October of
It was a few. It was
2004,
a few
but
seconds. It was a few seconds within the third round. Yes.
I really don't remember it going that far. I'm not disputing you.
Hmm.
I'm just saying this is my memory. Is eventually when you lost, you got dropped. He grabbed the belt. He jumped up on the second rope and held it up like he was Rocky or Chris Jericho winning the Intercontinental title in WWE. And you laid there and acted like you had a heart attack, and an ambulance took you out. And they took you up to the.
Didn't act like I had a heart attack. I didn't act like I had a heart attack. Nothing like that.
Okay, correct me then. That's what I was wanting.
That was not. No heart attack. Nothing like that. Um.
So what did you leave on the ambulance for?
So we had to have a way to get out of there. They knew when I lost. Well, you seen how many people was there for me, right?
Well, there was a lot of fucking people there. I'll tell you that. A lot of people was there.
Like when I came out, I had both belts. I had what was it? God dang it. I had a CFA belt and I had the NHB belt.
NHB.
The one that Tyndall run around with forever after I lost.
Well, anyway, continue on.
It went into Warrior. It started off a lot of things with that. Anyways, so
October
everybody
of 2004, wasn't it, Ernie?
there was 3 people who knew I was taking a dive. Tyndall being one of them.
Anthony, not Derek.
Anthony, yes.
All right.
And I had to take that dive. Hold on one second. They're working outside. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me make sure this camera system is going up.
20 years ago, Katie. Yes, it was October or September of 2004. Me and my baby's mother come down here and we snuck in for free because whoever was booking and running the show, Ernest Ice Banging Shell, had the tickets really high, so we waited till halftime intermission and snuck in for free.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tickets was pretty high, yeah. And if you bought them at the gate, they was like $5 more.
But honestly, in your defense, I wished I would have been here for both nights. From what I was saying, it was well worth it.
Oh, it was great. It was it broke history. I mean, it put the shows in Harlan, right?
Correct. You correct.
Well, the one I did before that was the Tough Man at Kaywood. Remember that when Mike Walbright threw B.J. Hickson off top of the ropes?
That's not the one in '98 when Steve Medford and
No. That was in 2003, I think. 2003 when we did this.
Okay, now I remember you all had one out there. Marco and Timmy Engel fought.
It was in April. Well, Marco fought Jake Napier.
Yeah.
And remember we set it up for Jake. So here's the thing: nobody knew even Marco was even fighting that night, and Jake was winning champion. So we did that. We did that thing.
Time out. Did they not keep saying a surprise opponent that night?
After the fight, yes, after the fight, because it was for the championship. There, remember, he had to fight the champion, Marco being champion from Kaywood earlier, a year before, correct?
I believe you're not telling. I believe you're telling correct tales.
Okay, so Jake had beat Bob from up Cincinnati, the kickboxing expert. Remember, he bought out. Remember, the kickboxer come out there, threw a kick. Jake speared him, took him down, beat him in the face and everything. Everybody went crazy. Jake Napier was the big star at that time.
Yeah.
And then we had that pop. So we had that pop. And as we got back in the locker room, I went back over to it, and they said, he said, well, you know, he got paid. Everybody got paid. That's when the good shit was happening, right? That's when people made money.
Oxycontin and coal mining money.
So, you know, remember Todd fought Caleb. Remember that Todd Magger fought Caleb.
Yeah, they couldn't. Todd didn't really lose, or maybe he did. He got gassed, didn't he?
So what happened is, well, I mean, you know, with Caleb Kelly, nobody thought, you know, he's like a little nerdy, dorky guy, and he's from Everett, and everybody's like, Todd's going to kill him. Todd's going to kill him. Well, it's a different world when you're stepping in front of people and fighting for that so many people, because there's probably 1,000 people there watching that show in Kaywood. It was full. It was packed. I mean, it was jam packed, crazy packed.
It was pretty close to sold out, correct?
Yes, yeah. So when that happened and everything, it was just, you know, Todd, what happens is Todd takes off running after Caleb. Caleb turns around and he starts to run, but he throws a punch out. And it's just like, you know, when you got that adrenaline, your power is strong. He throws that one punch out and catches Todd, and it drops Todd. The crowd's like, what the fuck? You know, they're like, holy shit. So Caleb he mounts Todd and he starts beating him in the face and everything. And then Todd comes to his senses. And then, of course, Todd, you know, he does what he can do. And we all know Todd Mayer can hit like a mother.
You damn right. He took my face off with one punch. He about killed me one time. So, go ahead.
So after that fight, of course, Todd won that fight. Now, Todd, I can't remember exactly who he fought that beat him. or if he even got beat. I can't remember if he even got beat. I'm not even sure. I know that everything
Same
after that was focused on.
somebody the next. Anyway, Ernie, I did. Okay, apparently Ernie's mom's won the trophy, and Ernie pulled off the W and the O and told everyone it was his trophy. Ernie admitted to this.
I did.
This
I
is the
did.
truth. This is a lot of what Ernie's saying, to my knowledge so far, about the MMA was correct because I was at every one of these events except for like 3 or 4. So
And that's something, it's just like anybody else for their history.
I never
You know,
seen you fight but one time.
what's that?
I only seen you fight one time. The one I missed was the one when Marco got beat by Scott Hope, and the one at Grace Knob when Chris Brewer was knocking the Cottrells off the side of the ring.
Well, see, I won all those fights. It was the one that I lost in Harlem was with Les.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I. That's the one I took a dive in. That's the one that because I was promoter. It wasn't like wrestling. You could be champion and be promoter. You still had to go through it. Those shows was going somewhere because I mean, hell, there was $20,000-$30,000, in revenue being made in them. You look if you're selling tickets for $20-$25 a piece, right?
Correct.
So if I have 100 people at $25 a piece, well, think about it.
Correct.
And we know there's more than a hell of a lot more than 100, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're having 1,000, 2,000, around that, and big numbers like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So you're saying you fought at the one out there at the night that Chris Brewer and Reggie or Derek Cottrell fought, or who?
I don't know if I fought
Right.
then or not, Brad. To be honest with you, I think I was just training in. I think I was in the corners and stuff, working the corners and stuff at that time. I don't think I fought. I don't think I did. I can't really remember. It's been a long time.
Could you have whipped if it was you and Little Paul Husky, both in your prime? Who would win? Three rounds. Jimbo's promotion, all of Harlan County, all the crack 40 and the Tiger Colt, and they're chanting for Ernie or Little Pal. Who wins?
That'd be a hell of a fight. But to be honest with you, I think he outweighed me at the time. Um, he was about 160, 165. I was about 140, 145. So
Yeah, well,
there's a big difference.
that wouldn't really matter for you because you would have a little bit more experience than him. Right. A lot.
Well, yeah, and I like to fight bigger people. But the thing about it is, the only thing I would have going for me in that time was my speed. I really wasn't that strong. I mean, I have that ability to adapt throughout a fight. That's one thing I like doing, but I'm nowhere near strong as I am now. I'm stronger now than I've ever been in my younger days. A lot stronger.
Well, we all know that being strong ain't about your bench press, but what are you benching right now? Go.
I don't bench to max out, but I could probably get 275, 265, something like that.
Okay. That ain't bad for your weight. That ain't bad for your weight.
No, but I don't do it. I do weights like I'll take 45, 50 pounds, and then I'll curl them. I'll curl like 100 one way, 100 another way, 100 one way, 100 another way. I'll do like 400 or 500 curls like that, and I do like isometric curls, stuff like that. So I'm always wanting to be flexible. I don't want to be built and just plumped out there. I don't want to be that.
Got you. Got you. Okay, so we got diverted. We both tiger tactics right after the pre-show of you versus Cyrax. So back to where this all started. Did it start out with people like Sue, Katie, Traders, Kels? Now I'm not saying not anybody in particular. Ghost, Peachy, Tyrant Bird. Was it like some streamers was basically like you can't take down this motherfucking Cyrax. He says,
No, nothing like that really. They had.
because I'm confused about how this.
So here's how it started. I William came up on my panel, And we had a yeah, we had a good conversation. And during that conversation, you know, you do this, you do that. How good are you? And it kind of come up to, can you find out who I am? Well, for me, I like a challenge, especially when he's putting $1,000 on it, and then later on, Katie said she's going to put $1,000 added to it, and then somebody else going to put 600. So it's about $2,600, which I already know who William is. I already got him figured out. I already got it all. But I got 28 more. Well, I got 29 more days because I had 31 days, and I think I've done it enough time. And I ain't even really second guessed it, but I'm not second guessing this. I'm going to go back and make sure I do my homework and do it thoroughly. That way we tie the bloodlines in, we tie everything in. It's kind of like when you do genealogy or anything like that. When you go and you do a family tree, uh, I like to, if I present, so say if you take Brad and you say, hey, I want to find out who this person is, and say that I charge you $75 to find out who this YouTuber is. I'm going to give you everything. I'm not going to just give you, hey, this is this person. I'm going to show you how it's this person, how it connects over, and without a shadow of a doubt that it is this person.
Down to the stains on the dildos, matching the stains of the shitty drawers, right?
If that's what you want to say.
All right. Well, so you and him, do you think he'll come on your panel since everyone says he wants?
Well, I made a phone call to him. I've called him a couple times. Hopefully that he'll see that I'm not no enemy. I'm not trying. I'm wanting to approach this from a different manner that it's ever been approached before. I'm not just I'm just not your average person doing this. So I do have a few people who are looking into this too, and they have some gain for it. And I know a lot of people want me to just dog this guy out, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make him pretty much feel relaxed, and I want him to feel relaxed and without no kind of pressure whatsoever. And we just have a conversation like me and William did, pretty much. Just it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, question, sir. What if he's watching this panel right now and he's hearing your Tiger Tactic game plan?
I want him to, because I know I told him I wouldn't use SUE on him, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to use SUE. I'm not going to use ODE. I'm not going to use UAA. I'm not going to use none of that on him. That's deception tactics, and I'm not going to do it.
What's them three letters stand for?
Well, which ones you want to know?
SODO or whatever.
Well, okay, so these are all with Peace Reed. These are all like non-confrontational stuff. I won't use
What's the definition of ODO?
Well, let's use the SUE first. It's strategic use of evidence. It's like like if I have like some kind of sort of evidence or something, like I won't withhold from him that I know. That's why I said I'm approaching it new. I won't use OIU. I won't use none of that, which is anything that's coercive or forced. No kind of like interrogation methods of that. Even though I do know them and I'm very, very, very well adapted at them, I won't use them. I'll keep it, to a pretty much human intelligence, which is human. I'll use human interrogation, and that's pretty much is what I'm going for.
All right. So but what is the whole point of going after him? What is he allegedly?
I'm not going after him. See, that's what everybody's mindset.
I apologize. What is the great debate with you and Cyrax over? Does it have anything to do with him allegedly? Keyword, don't get mad at me, Cyrax, sending dick pics to underage boys or girls or
Well, it does have a lot to do with stuff like that, but it also has a lot to look into the mindset. I kind of where I'm doing these interviews now and wanting to kind of change my channel around to doing, like interviews and just mix and matching with adventure and kind of putting it all together with that. It does have a lot to do with stuff like that. But I want to see where his mindset's at. I want to see what he thinks about. I want to know what that urge is. Everyone has that urge. Everyone has an urge, and a lot of people don't understand that.
So you saying that if he does have an urge to do some predatorial esque pictures, my neighbor's going nuts.
Well, we'll talk about that, Brad. Like I said, I'm going to use the peace method and the peace model of it, and that's just I'm going to plan, I'm going to engage, I'm going to have him account, and I'm going to have a closure, and I'm going to have an evaluation. It's as simple as that. If you take all those words, you spell peace, Peace.
What's the E stand for?
Evaluation.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
one? Which one? There's two of them. There's two.
Well, there's two of them. What's the second one stand for?
Well, the first one stands for engage. You have to engage. Once I engage, then the account comes. Once the account comes, then of course I can either of us both close it out, and then I'll do my evaluation on it. That's the way things work. That's the professional term for it. That's the professional way of doing it. The thing about it is it's non-confrontational and it's respectful. And being respectful is you're going to get a lot more cooperation than somebody just coming out and saying, "Oh, you pedophile." I'm not going to call him that because the fact of the matter is there is no proof as legal terms says that he's a pedophile, correct?
I don't know. That was my next question. William Glory Hole. Gary Busey always talks like this with all his letters and acronyms. No, that's why I'm asking you, Tiger. I have no clue. I'm one.
Gary Busey's a hell of a man. We hung out with Gary Busey and when pretty much
You did cocaine if you hung out with Gary Busey.
well, everybody at one time or another when we was doing these little shows. You know what I'm talking about, what I used to be a part of.
Well, it's not showing nobody else's backstage. It's just showing me and Chillbilly and Ernie. Jump the links, Mod. Where in the fuck did you meet Gary Busey at now?
Well, it shows and events and when I used to do the special effects stuff like that with the hockey mask stuff, and I get invited to these shows.
I have been a fan of his ever since
I've
Survivor.
got something. I've got something that you like, man. I've got a bunch of autographs from Gary Busey that was set around on a table, and that he gave out to everybody. It's pretty much just so he'd have nothing to put in his bag to travel back to where he was going. So yeah, they's already pre-signed. It was funny.
Did you
You're
consult?
saying Constance Sue is backstage.
I know I don't say her. Do you?
I don't know. I can't see any of that stuff.
Oh, I can see.
Well, let me turn this off right fast, and you'll be able to see her. She'll have to come back in though. Let me turn this stuff off, and then I've only got a few minutes anyways. I'll be more welcome to have her talk. Let me turn this off. You'll be able to see her. Tell her to drop down, come back up. You'll be able to see her.
Well, yeah, you gotta go put makeup on and everything. You got a big interview coming up for Monday Night Tiger Dateline. By God,
Well, not really that. I mean, we got Thompson, Warpson, and Clears running, so it's crazy. But go ahead. She can come up.
there ain't nobody backstage. I keep going to guests. Let me dip out and dip back in.
She's back there. I can see her. She's waving. She's beside her Christmas trees that she ain't took down yet.
Am I here? Easy lover.
I can't hear you, Brad.
I can hear you, Brad.
I can't hear you. Okay, I hear you. Is that a bird? I hear bird.
Yeah.
Is that Tyrant Bird? Is he with you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not Tyrant Bird, but there's birds, but no one is backstage. It's just me, Ernie, and Chillbilly.
I'll drop the link again.
Drop them again. So you got to go get ready. Whatever. Who is this Karen Kevin character?
Well, you asking me or is it somebody in the back?
No, I'm asking you, sir, because I've never heard of this individual being from Harlan nowhere.
Uh, Karen, Kevin. There's a few names that YouTubers call this person. They are from Harlan. You do know the people they hung out with. And maybe I tell you what, Brad. Maybe that would be good for your next interview because that would be a good. That would be the perfect guest for you. I promise. That would be good. You would actually find out a lot, and you'll know the person.
Do they know Hillary?
I don't hardly know Hillary, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. That's something that you'd have to ask. I don't know.
For some reason, it's not letting so come up.
Okay, speaking of Karen, Kevin, they said unblock them and they'll unblock them from chat. They're
Tell them
blocked.
that was not me that did that. Murder did that. Uh,
I'll read the message I got. Tell that fat asshole right now, that vulgar bastard, to unblock me and we can talk. And I will give him the rundown or some shit like that. Anyways, I just got it. So
well, we'll wait for Murder to wake up and get on here.
StreamYard, they're blocked. They can't come up because they blocked them on StreamYard.
Well, I don't.
You want me to walk you? You want me to walk you through it?
Nah, just tell them I'll work on it. I'll get them unblocked after you go live and do your interview. I'm very interested in it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have that person on my panel anyway, and I'm going to have a few more intelligent people up there that would understand a little bit what's going on. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you all. I got to get ready for my live and
Hang on,
cover good.
hang on, Ernie. Ernie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody's
So Ernie, you're being like a little fucking shit turd. I mean, aren't you? You honestly think that you're gonna be accomplished? I mean, anything with Cyrax and shit, bitch. I mean, the thing though. You're a person that preys on women and children. I mean, yourself. I mean, and then you're gonna go live and try to question Cyrax
Well,
about his past life and what he's basically
sir,
going
can I
through. Like,
speak, sir?
dude, you are completely full of shit. I can be honest.
Okay.
Dude, you're not a
Well,
predator hunting. You're not going out putting anyone behind bars. You're not going out doing any of that type of stuff. So
sir,
stop, pretending to be
sir,
something that you're fucking not. And remember,
sir.
I mean, just yesterday or what was it, or the day before, or I was on your live stream and you decided to kick me off because I had some, questions for Margaret, and you would not allow me
Well,
to ask them.
you need to
Yeah,
address
exactly.
Margaret.
She
You
knew
need to address
what you
Margaret
were up
about it,
to.
not
So guess
me.
what? She was playing along. I mean, as well. That's clearly. I mean, with you understand, right? That's what you're not fucking. I mean, getting.
Okay,
You only throw on your own
right.
fucking self. I
Brad,
mean,
I gotta go.
dummy.
I gotta
It's
live.
what you
Be
do
good.
on the regular, basis, and we all see that. I mean, for ourselves. So stop. Like I said, stop pretending to be something that you're not. You're like I said. I mean, dude, you're fucking. I mean, homeless. You never accomplish. I mean, anything. You come on here trying to play with people's mind. You come on here just to buy stuff just to gain them. Shit. Thinking that it's gonna actually help you out with your fucking career. Well, here's the thing though. I mean, Ernie, I think you and Cyrax would be a good couple with each other. I mean, yeah, let them up on your panel. Yeah, see how well that actually goes for you. I can tell you right now, it won't go. I mean, completely well for you. I mean, as you think. That's the honest. Yeah, he left. Yeah, bitch boy.
bitch boy. He left on you, Birdo. You come in
Right.
making his as Elvis was leaving the building.
Talking about he's gonna have some Cyrax on his fucking panel. I thought he didn't like pedals, but clearly he's gonna allow one on his live stream.
Well, elaborate to me about Cyrax. I've heard that name.
Okay, Cyrax is the one. Okay, I can tell you a little bit about Cyrax. Okay, Cyrax was the one that used to be trolled by Marty and a whole bunch of other people from community like on Rumble. And so what happened was Marty is the one that basically chose Cyrax, for a long time based on his history. Like first, Marty, originally, trusted Cyrax, and then once he found out what Cyrax was like, he decided to like basically troll him. Like Marty was like a very calm guy, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like off the rails or anything, but one of the things was he will always scream at Cyrax always scream at Marty because of the way he trust him like for the stalkerish behavior that they used to do with Cyrax, like send things to his house. Like he even sent like a person, I think, to his house one time, like someone from Grinder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, right? I could tell you all about it. Yes, he absolutely did. Like Marty was one of the best internet trolls in history.
That's glorious.
I know, right? And what he also traveled to Akron, Ohio, wherever Cyrex lives. And guess what? There's even a video of him where Cyrex ran up on Marty, and Marty brutally beats Cyrex down to like a pump, gave him a broken nose, a broken eye, like this eye was he had a black eye, a bloody nose, like even a broken and swollen lip.
Damn. So
Yeah, I know, right? Tell me about it. I looked at that video. I thought that was amazing.
wow. So
I know, right?
what was Marty and Cyrax? What started there? Bam.
I think it all started out where it was like a music company. Cyrex was like was more into mixing, wanted to sell a record or some sort, and I guess is that because Marty I guess was into that type of stuff too. And I guess is that what it all started down to. I mean, as is that it has something to do with record deals.
Okay, speaking of deals, I'm going to be the first one, I assume, to announce that I just had 2 messages come across the top of my phone. Angelo got his own coffee deal. He got his own coffee brand sponsor.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Don't know no more about it. He sent me a link.
Okay.
So I'll send that to a mod to drop. But back to where you was at, Bird. I'll continue on.
Yeah, it has something to do with like record deals and something. I know. I did a little bit more like history and research. I mean, on it, but it has something to do with that. I can't tell you everything off the top of my head of how it all started, but but virtually, I think Marty said it has something to do with like record deals, like or because they started meeting him like I think it was October of 2019 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And plus, I was even on his panel. I mean, on Rumble before, like basically someone challenged me to go over and face Marty, and so and that's what I did. And guess what? But at the same time, it just turned out to be like a total shit show.
Right.
I feel like I'm sorry, but you're not gonna do me like you do with Cyrex. Like you're not gonna be able to get information out of me, like or where I live. Like it's like shoot, you're not gonna be able to troll me the same way. So instead of Marty trolling me, I end up trolling him. He says that me and him, but that me and Cyrex were just like each other. That both of us don't shut up and don't let other people talk. That's what he said. Like he compared me to Cyrex when I was on his panel. I'd be like, I ain't nothing like that guy. So I don't know what you're talking about, but but whatever you got going on, you can take that bullshit and hit it right out the door.
There you go, by God. It's Crack 40 TV. Birdo coming with the knowledge tonight.
So that I tried to tell him, but someone challenged me to do that. I wasn't well enough to just like go over to his over on Rumble just on his panel, not knowing that what the guy was like basically like. But overall, yeah, someone did challenge me to go over there, so I took the challenge and I did went over there.
So let me ask you this, Birdo. Say that everything about this guy Cyrax is true, and Ernie can convince him or trick him, tiger tactics, if you will. If he can convince this guy to admit to sending some dick pics to some kids or something like that, do you think that Ernie could use that in his gubernatorial run?
To be honest, I don't think there's anything he can do with this guy. He's not going to be able to like ask this guy any questions. He's not going to be able to ask Cyrax question because one thing he does not realize, Cyrax does not answer questions. I mean, Cyrax goes off the rails. Like, you know, he's easily the trigger. Cyrax is like easier to like really troll. He's easier to get underneath. I mean, your skin, and so it's easy to get underneath his skin. Okay, you know what I mean? And so, but people know his tactics. I mean, it doesn't take much to set him off. I could say that he's just like me. He's not gonna take any type of bullshit. He'll just say anything like off the rails. It don't even have to make sense. It don't even have to add up.
Gotcha. So,
But then again, you know, Ernie's is the exact same way. Ernie is easier to tell, but guess what? Ernie talks so very much, but a point that you can see how the way he actually sounds. His voice is just going off the deep end. Like it sounds like each and every single day. His voice, he ends up losing his voice each every single day. Like he's not going to be able to talk after a while.
well, Blaine Katie showed me. I noticed it, but I hadn't pointed it out because I kept forgetting. Maybe she pointed out to me that every day, one of Ernie's eyes, they both go a little bit farther that way. You know what I mean? That the right one's going more to the right, the left one's going more to the left, and HIV will do that to you.
I mean, I don't know how he basically like HIV because my thinking is just, I mean, he told a story about on his live stream of how, you know, talking about something. It had something to do with, you know, panties or something, but I don't know the full details because you know, because he spills bullshits. I mean, all the freaking time. So he does it on a regular basis. So my thinking, is this. That's why I hardly ever pay attention to anything this person says.
I mean,
I don't find him like very interesting. I don't.
I agree with you there. I think that Ernie. Now, look, like I was saying, what if he did do this? What if he took this guy down and he was a monster, yada, yada, yada? Then Ernie did something else, and he actually did run for governor, which, you know, that's not going to happen. But does he not realize that if he made it that far to where there was campaign ads, what's up, SDA Clips? Does he not realize that the things he said last night would be used against him and nobody would run for him, let alone the fact that he's homeless, he's got HIV, he got it in his ass and won't admit it, and everything else that, you know, follows Ernie Shell?
He won't ever admit to anything. I can tell you that right now. He won't admit. He won't do it. If he didn't admit to those girls that he had HIV, the people that he was basically staying with and was basically going to hook up with, like, you know, what makes you think that he's going to like admit for the government and shit? What makes you think he's going to admit that type of shit?
Well, he'd never admit it, but there would be so many people online destroy him. Which, I mean, I'm just kind of fantasy booking now because we all know that Ernie will never make it no farther than a dollar a day from Renee Marie keeps Taco Bell happy.
I can tell you right now, if he were to actually leave this internet forever, and I can tell you right now, people may be talking about him for let's say maybe a year or more, but probably not, because when he was going to jail, everyone was happy, like no one was hardly even thinking about him. Like, you know, people had to find, you know, other content to basically come up with and talk about, but it was not about Ernie. Like people were not thinking about Ernie until he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously. But now all of a sudden, since he's back on YouTube, now everyone has his attention to focus on him. Now you got all these different channels that are talking about him and are basically using him for content. Now it's just like he's taking over again, because before he came back, people's focus were mainly on me. You know what I mean? So, but now the tables has turned since he's back.
Well, yeah, you and Jimbo both, and now, well, we see what's up with old hunchback of US 25E, Jimbo. I guess Josh Shanks is continuing to leave kids in Thelma's mouth, and he's trying to draw crazy checks.
Yeah, and would you also believe that he also sit up there and say that he was dying again? He went back to say it on his live stream when Nicolina was up there that he's dying again, and which is not true because he said this once before.
Jimbo did?
No, Ernie.
Oh, well, I mean, if you've got HIV in a way you are dying,
Oh, come on now. There's people that with HIV that have lived like 15 to 20 years, like even after being diagnosed. So you can live a healthy, long life with HIV if you get the help that you need. But
Well,
it don't seem like he doesn't want any help.
if he does get the help, he ain't gonna take his pills every day. He'd rip somebody off and tell them they have something else and sell them to them. He'd be selling Big Tarvy for Neurontin or something.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. This guy is not dying. Like not like he's betraying us. Like the HIV may spread to other parts of his body eventually. That might take him out, but he's not. But as of right now, he's not dying. He's just basically using this as a troll to grift, and so people will send him money because he's good at manipulating people. He's good at that type of stuff. He's good at changing people's minds. He's really good at what he does. Like he's good at doing that.
Oh yeah, he's very good at the manipulation. However, he was wrong. He manipulated me and didn't realize it. Before I knew Ernie, before Ernie got into a fight at my house, I remember him getting whooped over here in 2004, but I remember him with all the hockey masks and the Jason masks. That's before I knew what YouTube Live was. I was just watching like wrestling and listening to music on YouTube, and I didn't know that there was like streaming. I used to like see and read all the comments about his Jason masks ordeal and owing people money for all that pre the Cody fight at my house. So that means I've known Ernie for 6 full years now because he came to my house the last day of 2018, fought Cody on the first day of 2019. I've known that ass banger that long and probably ain't spent 24 hours with him, maybe 48 hours with him the whole time.
That's what I'm, thinking about because he sits up there and says that he's met all these different wrestlers, met all these WWE wrestlers. He sits up there and says that, okay, I know this person, but we just heard from one person that literally just said he does not know who he is. But he has no idea who he's never met the guy, but he has his name in his mouth. But it's kind of surprising. Like who would have ever thought like a famous person would address this guy? Well, when you think about it, he is somewhat famous because practically everybody on YouTube, practically knows who he is. So, it would not be hard to figure out who this guy is.
Ernie does have a decent, pretty good following on YouTube. There's no doubt about it.
He does.
And he's not smart enough to do like I'm trying to do. If you're not following my TikTok, follow my TikTok. I drop all my videos over here on YouTube anyway, but my TikTok's soaring. I got like almost 150,000 views since Friday.
I'm tired of TikTok. I wish I wish they would just get rid of TikTok, like altogether. I don't see the use for TikTok.
I do. I can clip up a lot of pretty things really quick. I can clip it quick, and then I can either download it there or save it and bring it over here and use it. So it's but a lot of people don't like TikTok. A lot of people do. For me, I love it.
I hate it. But then again, Trump keeps delaying the TikTok ban. Like he says, okay, guess what? We're gonna give it 75 days to get to make it to come in. If we don't get this funding and find out TikTok is getting banned permanently. And then when 75 days are up, guess what? He decides to release it for another 75 days. Like this guy is just out of control. Like and then once 75 days are up, guess what? He's gonna say it for another 75 days. It's just gonna keep going on and on.
Well, in the defense of Washington D.C., you know how politics are. That's how the political game is. I don't see TikTok going nowhere, period, but we'll see. I hope it does.
I think you're right about that. I don't see it going anywhere either. even though they said it was going to go somewhere, but I don't see it happening either. So I think you're pretty much right about that.
Yeah, there's so many. You think Kai Trunk's not telling Papa don't get rid of TikTok?
Yeah, it's like don't get rid of TikTok. I need TikTok because guess what? Because this is where my music videos go. This is where I can basically go go to get away from these other social media apps. It's like my number one thing. I love TikTok and this and that. Like come on now. You can do music videos on other platforms too. It does not have to be TikTok. But a lot of people were begging, were crying because when people when TikTok was going to get banned back in January, people were traumatized. People were falling. People were brutally crying. Like people were protesting and saying, "Let's keep TikTok. We want TikTok." But yeah, people were been out of shape.
Very badly. Viper, I hope your coffee succeeds very well. I announced it as soon as you told me, as soon as your message come through. So it is now 8:18 p.m. on the 5th of May, and Ernie and Cyrax are still not live. What's going on there?
And he said that he had to go live stream it, remember? But it's 18 minutes after 8 and he's not live streaming, he's still not? Like, what?
Unless these went live and I didn't get a notification or nobody in here's told me the viewers dropped, that means Ernie left, obviously.
Of course, like people just need him for the viewers because people need him for entertainment. He needs me for entertainment. That's why he always sits up there saying, "Oh, where's Birdo? I need Birdo to come over here. Would you come up on my live stream?" I mean, but then again, he thinks I'm going to be cool with him. I'm not going to be cool with him. I'm just going to go up and cuss your ass out and call you out on your bullshit. That's all I'm going to do. And he can't fucking take it. So then he ends up muting me. He ends up turning down my mic and then he ends up booting me. Like he does it all the time.
Actually, I take that back. Ernie is live.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Yes.
To accept your questions because I'm not jumping back and forth. I
So
don't do that anyways. I want to be fair.
we can watch it, or you guys can go listen to it, and we can come back when it's over.
Yes, let's come back once it's over.
Okay. I agree with you, Berto. It's been Crack 40 TV. After he goes off, we'll come. After the interview, Crack 40 TV will be back with a post-show interview of Ernie, Shell, and Cyrax. Fuck it.
I think it was October of 2019 or something like that. Oh, okay.